All right, I am traveling right now, but I thought I would do a, I don't know, a substitute non-Stampscapes Friday Night Live video here. Well, it's live in terms of whatever they call it, a premiere. So welcome to anyone that's watching this. Sorry I couldn't be here, but I am off taking care of some of my mother's affairs due to her passing. But she loved stamping when she could, and she would have wanted me to continue on with the stamping routine here. So we are testing out some imagery. That's the first time I think I've stamped out that house castle, or I don't know, was that the second time? I can't remember. No, I've already stamped it out in a test piece right here. All right, and we are stamping it on one of Deanna Tubb-Sedillo's designer papers. And I am using the hybrid ink here. I'm using the hybrid ink as it's a little bit thicker than dye-based inks, but I'm pretty sure these papers pretty much take just about any types of inks here. We'll fill this in like so. When you need a fast and dynamic and kind of dynamic, dramatic scene, why not start off with a dynamic background, huh? Look at that transitioning tone in there. It looks like a close-up of a nebula to me, or something like that, with the addition of those lightning bolts in there. So super dramatic like that. I always enjoy testing out these really cool papers of Deanna's. It gets you kind of to think a little bit in terms of, I don't know, an appropriate composition for kind of the focal points in the sky like that. They're just so dramatic at times like that, with the lightning bolts or you know, any type of light source, okay? And then you can kind of think about it in terms of the configuration. Is it up and down? Is that up and down? Is this up and down? And you can think of all kinds of different scenarios based on that configuration there. So always interesting to see what you come up with, because it's a little bit of a tweak on the thought process, you know, rather than starting off with kind of a uniform surface, be it textural or just a white piece of paper. Okay, so I'm adding in the larger tombstones. I was thinking, is this the medium tombstones or is this the large ones? These are the large ones here. I would have wanted to. Years ago, okay, I would have done like some really big stones, but I did all of these designs on these new sets really kind of focused around the quarter page size format. Not that they can't be used in you know, larger formats, but I wanted everything to be kind of ideal for the quarter page. And then if you want to, you can just do a more extensive, in this case, cemetery or something like that. But just kind of using this size of this scale of imagery, okay? So we would have had some big ones at one point in time. You know, to kind of really push depth. Okay, now one of the things with the with these tombstones right here is what you can do is you can skew them. So you can kind of have them, I mean, they're kind of designed vertically, but I would recommend kind of tilting them slightly, because it kind of, from a psychological point of view, it kind of it alters a little bit kind of the feeling of the scene by doing something like that. All right, here's a zombie kind of walking off in the distance like that. And what I'll do is I won't have it like, oh, you could. You know, it'd be kind of interesting is have the Frankenstein right here and have that bolt going right into them. But this is a zombie right here. Now, I don't want to put him right here because all that dark background is going to show. So I need him like in an area where, you know, whatever's stamped behind them is not going to interfere with the silhouette of the form. So I hope everyone's enjoying, if you had a chance, for those that picked up these sets or any one of the sets. I hope you're enjoying using them so far. I'm having a blast with them. For me, these designs are, it's really a long time in the making. I've been enjoying doing kind of these Halloween scenarios. These ones are the real distant tombstones. I've been enjoying doing kind of Halloween types of imagery cards, but I've been just having to utilize designs that maybe weren't necessarily designed for use in a Halloween type of setting. I've just kind of utilized them for that purpose. And I mean, that's been fun and everything, but I really needed some imagery that was just tailor-made for Halloween in just the way that I like it too. So these are the ones here for that purpose. So like this, I mean, these little, like these crosses and things like that, it's like I can have so much variation now with these designs. I'm gonna put this cross at a little bit of an angle right here. Put another one right over here. It's going to be overlapping, but I'll kind of clutter the scene a little bit. I don't clutter the main person though. Like I wouldn't put a bunch of stuff around it where you can see that form clearly though. But like tombstone or crossover tombstone, something like that, you know, you can do that. I mean, you can do anything you want, but I'm just talking about for kind of clarity of form. It's best to kind of leave it a little bit open. All right, let's add in some foreground here. We don't want to, like a tightly manicured cemetery area. It's more like grown over, you know, and tall grasses and things like that. It hasn't been weed whacked or something like that. All right, let's see. I don't have too much room up here, but let's go with the lightning. Now this right here makes a really good accompaniment to these lightning bolts because it's almost like the reverse of those light on dark, you know, dominant forms in there. So I used to do that with my lightning, cloud with lightning stamp. I'd use it with the leafless limbs imagery a lot. It's like all these little kind of hands coming into the scene. let's see here. Let's do... that. I might put a crow in one of these branches like I did the other day. Let's just go with that one right there. We'll go 2 on this side. 1, 2, and then I flipped it around. I just went with that one right there. If this was like a half-page scene, I'd have more of this coming in like that. So that bird's looking over that way. And then I can have another one right here looking that way. So they're both looking kind of into the scene. Nice dark silhouettes against that background, that super dramatic background. Like a VersaFine clear would probably be excellent on this type of paper too. Something that gets a lot of detail and is really super dark. All right, so we'll make this pretty quick here. It makes for a quick and easy card, but again, like super dramatic because Deanna's done all the work. All right, so we have these lightning bolts in here. So those are going to be making these objects cast a shadow. Now, a lot of this area is already dark, so I don't really have to do too much shadow work. But for this object right here, this structure, what we'll do is we'll have it casting a shadow out this way. I won't go too dark because I don't want to interfere with the silhouette of these objects, but see how that kind of just anchored the scene down, or the object, the structure, into the scene a little bit more. We'll give this horizon a little bit more of a tone to differentiate it from the sky, so I just darken in that a little bit. And there's some tombstones up there, but they're kind of in the darkness, but I can put a little bit of a shadow at the base of them. Now see right here, I'm not going to go too dark down this way because I want that tombstone to stand out. So if I darkened this in this way too far, you really wouldn't be able to see that too much. So I'm spending most of it right up here, or adding most of it right up here. And then as I come down here, I'm transitioning it to a much lighter tone like that, okay? All right, now the lightning's coming from here, so we'll give this zombie a little bit of a shadow like that. See how they just kind of sit into the scene a little bit more now, like about like so. All right, let's add a little bit of atmosphere. So we have this kind of really soft diffusion of, in this case, light, okay? So we're going to add a diffused look of that light, which is in the background now. We'll add some of it in the foreground, and it'll kind of sandwich, or what it looks like is it sandwiches in the different imagery in that same type of lighting, okay? So really just very pale, very dry, slightly. Don't have a lot of ink on this, okay? And just add that in just ever so slightly. Look at that area come to life like that with that light. And the zombies always look pretty cool if they're kind of in a little bit of fog or whatever, you know, monsters are. Didn't have to be a zombie, but see that kind of mist right in there now? Let's put some back here too. And we can do this because there's that white light right there, so kind of this fog or mist that's in the air right here relates to that same color, which again is just white, okay? And see this branch right up here? Let's diffuse that a little bit. Let's have a couple of those little branches up there a little bit lighter, like the light is kind of shining off of it, so it makes this one a little bit darker, this one a little bit lighter. Now see this right here? It's mostly in the darkness, so I don't want to put any right here, but here is where it touches white, right down here. So let's put a little bit underneath that. So yeah, it just kind of makes those branches look a little bit more dimensional. These branches over here are all against a darker area than white, so I won't put it in there. How about right in here a little bit? It's like a little passage of light and mist in here. I just gave a little touch of it right in here. And I don't think we really need to do too much in here as far as detail goes. But let me just add a little bit of white to these windows right in here. It is a little bit lighter than what it is now. In the background, there was that tone, which looked good too, but now, see, those windows stand out a little bit more now. And then you can put a little bit of this light highlighting on some of our objects in here. I'd say it's just on a little bit of those tombstones. Oh, there we go. And I don't put too much of it where there's not a lot of light. Okay, I might put a couple of little dots, but that's about it. You put more highlighting where the lighter area is. Kind of adding a little bit of a highlight on the side of those tombstones on the inner side. And then these ones right here, the same thing, but it'll be on the opposite side. All right, something like that. Kind of makes them stand out a little bit more. Okay, I think that will do it. Boy, look at those colors. That is a great paper by Deanna. Thanks to Deanna for this collaborating with me on this scene. I hope you guys liked it. And boy, I can't wait to see what everyone else does with these pieces. I'm seeing some preliminary pieces getting posted on the Facebook group, and I guess that's where I've seen it so far. Someone emailed me a tag too. That was awesome, and love what I've seen so far, and can't wait to see more. So anyway, post away if you guys come up with some fun Halloween stuff. I'd love to see it, as would everyone else. So anyways, thanks for watching, and can't wait to see you in an actual live stream when I get back. All right. Thanks again for tuning in. And thanks as always for tuning in to the Stampscapes channel.